In this video, we're going to tell a story of how a judge's son, fueled by addiction and desperation, pulled off a brazen multi-million-dollar casino heist, only to see his Hollywood fantasy crumble under the weight of his own amateur mistakes. In the neon-drenched heart of Las Vegas, a city built on calculated risks, a crime unfolded that seemed ripped from a movie script. In the pre-dawn hours of December 14, 2010, a lone figure strode into the opulent Bellagio Hotel and Casino. His identity was completely hidden by a full-face motorcycle helmet. He brandished a handgun and in a matter of minutes, vanished back into the darkness with $1.5 million in casino chips. This was the work of the man who would become known as the Bellagio Biker Bandit, a moniker that captured the public's imagination. But the investigation that followed would unravel a surprisingly amateurish plot, revealing a perpetrator who was anything but a criminal mastermind. The man behind the helmet was 29-year-old Anthony Michael Carleo. He was not a seasoned professional, but the son of a Las Vegas municipal court judge, George Assad, a detail that added a layer of public fascination and personal tragedy to the drama. Carleo had moved to Las Vegas with dreams of a fresh start, even enrolling at the local university. But the city's temptations proved too strong. A burgeoning addiction to gambling and drugs, specifically cocaine and OxyContin, sent him into a downward spiral. This desperation led him to crime. The Bellagio heist wasn't his first. Just 5 days earlier, he robbed the Suncoast Hotel and Casino in northwest Las Vegas, again using a motorcycle helmet to hide his face. In that robbery, he stole nearly $19,000 in cash from a poker room cashier. At approximately 3:50 a.m. on that fateful Tuesday, Carleo parked his Suzuki motorcycle at the Bellagio's North Valet entrance, positioning it for a swift getaway. Dressed in black and wearing a white-striped motorcycle helmet, he walked purposefully through the casino to a high-stakes craps table. He pulled out a handgun, shouting at the startled gamblers and dealers to get out of his way. He proceeded to stuff a fanny pack with an array of casino chips, with denominations ranging from $100 to the high-value $25,000 cranberry chips. With his loot secured, Carleo dashed out of the casino, pointed his gun at a valet who tried to stop him, and sped off into the Las Vegas night. The brazen nature of the crime, captured on the Bellagio's extensive security camera network, was broadcast worldwide. But Carleo's plan, while bold, was deeply flawed. The very items he had stolen, the high-denomination casino chips, were also his undoing. Unlike cash, high-value chips are not easily spent. They are tracked by casinos, and in many cases contain embedded RFID transponders that allow for their unique identification. The Bellagio, a subsidiary of MGM Resorts International, acted swiftly. Within an hour of the robbery, the casino began the process of discontinuing the stolen $25,000 chips. They filed a plan with gaming regulators and set a deadline of April 22, 2011 for their redemption. After that date, the red chips with a gray inlay would be worth no more than the plastic they were cast from. This move was a strategic checkmate designed to make the most valuable portion of Carleo's haul effectively worthless. Undeterred and seemingly oblivious to the closing net, Carleo embarked on a reckless spending and gambling spree. In a display of stunning hubris, he returned to the scene of the crime. Court documents would later reveal that between the heist and late January, Carleo lost at least $107,000 gambling at the Bellagio, including a staggering $72,000 on New Year's Eve alone. His high-rolling lifestyle, funded by the stolen chips, was so extravagant that the casino began to provide him with complimentary meals and hotel rooms, making him a comped guest at the very house he had victimized. His desperation to convert the remaining high-value chips into cash led him to make a series of critical errors. He began to boast about his exploits to fellow poker players. He even attempted to sell the stolen cranberry chips on a popular online poker forum called 2+2, using the handles Ocean Spray 25 and Cranberry Kid 25. He connected with a poker enthusiast from Washington, D.C. named Matthew Brooks. To prove he was the bandit, he emailed Brooks a picture of two $25,000 chips resting on a piece of paper signed Biker Bandit. He confided in Brooks that his money was dwindling and he was sitting there looking at all these $25,000 chips that he alone couldn't cash. Matthew Brooks forwarded the email to the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department and the FBI. The police traced the IP address of the email directly to the home of Carleo's father. Police launched an undercover operation. An officer named Mike Gennaro, posing as a high roller named Dominic, made contact with Carleo. Over a series of meetings at both the Venetian and the Bellagio, Gennaro purchased a total of 7 $25,000 chips from Carleo at a discounted rate of $7,000 to $10,000 each. During these meetings, Carleo openly bragged about the robbery. At one point, when Gennaro suggested they team up to rob the Bellagio, Carleo laughed and replied, "I already did." The undercover operation culminated in Carleo's arrest on February 2, 2011. The final meeting took place in a Bellagio bathroom, not far from the poker room. As Gennaro disappeared back into the casino, 6 police officers stormed the bathroom, yelling at Carleo to get on the floor. He was arrested at the very casino he had so audaciously robbed weeks earlier, where he was staying as a valued high roller. A subsequent search of his girlfriend's apartment uncovered another 16 of the stolen $25,000 cranberry chips. Faced with a mountain of evidence, Carleo accepted a plea deal. In June 2011, he pleaded guilty to armed robbery and assault with a deadly weapon in the Bellagio heist. As part of the agreement, 8 other felony charges were dropped. He also pleaded guilty to the earlier robbery at the Suncoast Casino. His defense attorney, William Terry, portrayed him as an all-American boy who fell into the grips of drug and gambling addiction after a knee injury led to a dependency on prescription painkillers. The prosecution, led by Assistant District Attorney Chris Owens, painted a picture of a reckless and remorseless criminal. District Judge Michelle Levitt sentenced Carleo to 3 to 11 years in prison for the Bellagio robbery. 2 days later, Judge Michael Villani sentenced him to a consecutive term of 6 to 16 years for the Suncoast robbery, resulting in a total sentence of 9 to 27 years. During his sentencing, a remorseful Carleo apologized for his actions, stating, "I am truly sorry for the chaos I caused." The story of Anthony Carleo serves as a cautionary tale of how quickly a life can unravel. While in Lovelock Correctional Center, Carleo reflected on his downfall, once telling an interviewer, "I know I should have thrown those $25,000 chips away, but who can throw away $1 million?" In a final telling request, he asked the reporter, "When you get to the Bellagio, put $10 down on hard 8 for me, and let it ride." That's it for this week's Leisure Lore. And please do us a favor and subscribe to this channel if you enjoyed it. It means the world to us.